So the first business is McKinsey Org, which is the non-for-profit part of McKinsey's. And the boys had a very, very difficult and unusual challenge. That is, the problem that McKinsey Org gave them was to understand how to stop plastic or waste in Bali, because it's increasingly toxic to that environment and impacting that economy and that country. So without further ado, can I get the boys from McKinsey Org to come up and present?
Hello everyone, we are the McKinsey Group and this is our presentation.
So hey guys, McKinsey is a non-profit organization aiming to reduce waste in Balinese community by refurnishing pre-existing recycling facilities into sustainable, self-manageable and profitable community operations. Ultimately, our job is to get rid of plastic in the Balinese oceans. I'll now lead you to Morgan.
Thank you, Alex. Our problem is that the primary issue is that people who already recycle are not sorting correctly. So they'll put plastics in the paper bin, for example. Now, this problem is perpetuated by poor, if not low rates of education on the topic of recycling and waste management. This can be altered by, sorry, no, I'm not here for the solution. No. This is a very large issue that should be solved. Anyway, another issue is that people are, one second. Yeah, okay, so some people that already know about the recycling centers in these towns actually don't do it because they don't really care where their waste ends up. This issue is mainly a matter of cost because you have to pay a little bit more for the recycling option. Now, this problem is also largely, this problem is largely perpetuated by the cheaper and undercutting methods of these road collectors who will just pick up the waste and dump it on the side of the road where the green waste begins to decompose. This leads to emission of greenhouse gases and other forms of not only methane, but other sorry, I'm repeating myself. Anyway, yeah, on to Cooper.
Thank you, Morgan. Hi, I'm Cooper. I'll just be talking about our thinking and possible solutions that we've gone over these past few weeks. So the first of the three problems that we've come across is how can we get people in Bali to sort and separate rubbish effectively. And so another possible solution that we have come across is a color-coded bin system like we have here. So blue bins, red bins, green bins, yellow bins for recycling and just residual waste. And just to make it more easier and more efficient to sort and separate rubbish. Now the second problem that we've come across is that most locals, Balinese school students aren't educated properly about proper recycling. So a solution that we have found to be more efficient is to have an environmental ambassador program to go over to Bali and educate students about recycling and proper sort and separation. And the third and last problem that we have come across is that 70% of waste in landfill is organic waste. And a really good solution that we've found is to convert that organic waste into biofuel, which effectively reduces most of the organic waste that goes into landfill. Thank you.
Thanks, Cooper. Hello everyone, my name's Oscar and I'm discussing our recommended solution and why it's the best option. So Bali is a beautiful tropical island with many pristine natural environments. However, pollution has become a significant issue. particularly in the ocean and on the beaches around Bali, and we want to help stop this. To do so, our team is going to try and increase education and awareness surrounding the incorrect source separation of household waste on the environment and its impact. We believe that this is the best option as it is a relatively low-cost initiative that can have a really big impact with many flow-on effects. By targeting Year 10 students in Bali, we can develop sustainability ambassadors in the schools who can educate the rest of the students about the impact of not separating their waste and why the community should do it right. This will empower students in Bali and consequently their families to drive positive environmental change through educating them about beneficial waste habits, which involves reducing, reusing and recycling as much as possible. This means that we can stop the Balinese people from negatively impacting the environment and contributing to global warming and pollution due to a lack of source separation. This could ultimately lead to the development of a biofuel centre and the diversion of waste from waterways through providing incentives for rogue waste collectors so that they dump the rubbish that they don't sell at our centre instead of in the local waterways. Thank you. I'd now like to invite Cameron to the microphone.
Thank you, Oscar. We believe that the youth of Australia can connect with the youth of Bali and create a cleaner and more environmentally friendly Bali. We intend on launching a pilot program here in Balgowlah, with us becoming the pioneers of source separation, education and awareness amongst our local schools. Once we become properly established, we can aid McKinsey in the implementation of a sister ambassador program in Bali, using the skills we have learnt along the way to train, educate and empower Balinese students to do the same in their communities. And now I'll bring Kieran up to wrap things up. Thank you.
Thank you. Right, so what we have learnt how to challenge our assumptions. As a group, this was crucial for finding meaningful solutions to our problems and saved us from many misguided ideas. We have also learned how to identify the underlying issues that cause problems, allowing for us to better and more effectively chart a resolution. We have learned also how to transform big, daunting problems into smaller, manageable and solvable ones, an invaluable skill in the execution of any resolution. And finally, we have learned how to collaborate effectively. While we all have had some experience working with others, this project has taught us just how much more there was left for us to learn. That's the conclusion of our presentation. Before we sign off, though, we'd like to thank Harry and McKinsey for giving us the opportunity to work with them. It was a pleasure.
One word for me, wow. I'm so impressed. Such an articulate and really clear presentation that I think everyone understood. I certainly loved hearing it. And I think what was exciting about this idea is that it's really efficient. We're a not-for-profit, we don't have big resources. It scales exceptionally well across the villages we're in Bali, but also the broader Indonesia and potentially even beyond Indonesia. And it's also really village-led and driven by the people in the communities that are actually facing these problems, which was kind of the core essence of the solution I was really hoping for. I think more broadly throughout this whole process, I've been so impressed by the pace in which you boys have picked up the problem, the questions being asked of me, really keeping us on our toes around what we're doing, and then hearing that all come together in a really clear statement of the problem and the organisation, what we're trying to do, and then be that translated into just a really clever and cool solution that we can test here, see if it works, see what we learn, and then pilot more broadly immediately in Indonesia or in 3 months, 6 months. Just super exciting and super impressed. So big round of applause.